I've solved... This is an intro, by the way. I solved the thing. We don't have to watch the first episode, What Are Little Girls Made Of? Because I know that it's hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. We nailed it.
Done.
Nice.
We don't have to watch
Asked
it.
To high precision.
and
Yeah.
answered.
I don't even know what the point is. But after that is Miri, which is kind of... It's TOS. It's always going to be kind of sketchy. It's a children... It's an episode about a planet full of children who yell bonk bonk and hit Kirk over the head.
Yes.
But do you remember they're very old? They're very,
Yeah,
very old
so it's
children.
okay that Kirk was flirting with one of the children.
Oh
That's
god.
Yeah.
That one
Of
is
course.
quite explicitly changing into an adult, and yeah, it's still weird.
Okay, so she's 13 instead of 10.
It's true. It's very, very true.
I'll say Jewish adult doesn't make it okay.
What?
Oh, if you're Jewish, you have a bar mitzvah, and you turn 13 when you turn into an adult when you're 13. But it doesn't count.
For some cases, for some circumstances.
Yes. I'm just
Not
I'm
the
trying to
case
make
we're
a point
talking
in a
about
bad
here.
way.
And the last episode's Dagger of the Mind, which I read a synopsis of on Wikipedia because I couldn't remember it, and I still honestly don't remember anything about it. The synopsis didn't help. I don't know what it's about.
Awfully generic sounding episode title.
It's apparently about a mental asylum, but I'm conceptually aware there was at least one mental asylum episode where Enterprise establishes that Hoshi died. Or maybe it wasn't a mental asylum. Hoshi was killed somewhere in TOS.
Oh.
I don't remember what.
What?
Oh, there was an episode about some governor who'd murdered a bunch of people because of a food shortage or something, and I think Hoshi was one of the people that got purged.
Wow.
Did they ensign Kimmer?
Well, it was fully off screen because it was 40 years later. So, does that count? She didn't come back. Kim comes back.
Well, she'll always live in on our hearts as the Empress.
Two and a half minutes to start. Everyone be queued up. What are we on? Season 1, episode 7? What is this, 7? 7.
I've really thought there.
Also, there will be Strange New Worlds Season 2 spoilers. If you haven't watched Strange New Worlds Season 2, don't watch the stream. Go away. Go watch it.
Oh man, right now I gotta go.
Okay, well, if that's because you haven't watched it, good. Go watch Strange New Worlds Season 2.
It is really, really good.
It's
Go
fantastic.
get your stuff together.
And Paramount need to actually pay the writers so we can get a season 3.
It's been renewed for Season 3, but now it's gonna be like, what, 2 years?
At least
be a while and a half.
No one can even act yet. No one can write anything.
It was gonna. Well, presumably it's already written because it was going to start
mostly written
filming in
before,
May.
yeah.
But it's absolutely savage. They left us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it is
for the
pretty.
writer's strike. Why would they do this?
I love a cliffhanger, so I'm happy about that part.
But-
But it's true.
Which I think all those characters, none of them are on TOS. Those are the only
is
non-TOS
about
characters.
I know.
The only person left there is the Doctor. That is in an episode of TOS.
Is he? I thought he was the Cage character.
No, he's not. He's in an actual episode of TOS.
Mbenga?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in season 2. Yeah.
I remember a picture of him.
Really?
He looks so much younger in TOS. What's up with that?
Starfleet technology.
It's
Sorry,
one of those
George,
episodes where they
31
cured
and a D8.
aging and then forgot again. How's the weather?
It was sunny earlier today. Now it's a bit cloudy.
Good, good.
I'm trying to find the guy who did the food shortage thing. I know
It is quite
exactly the
possible
guy.
that the Strange New World Season 2 ended with a cliffhanger to help them with bargaining.
Oh, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
But at the same time, it's probably written too early for that. It's a
Yeah,
good
it would have
point,
been written too long ago.
There we go. Kodos, the governor of Tarsus 4.
Okay, yes. He's the one that I believe murdered Hoshi. It's in some like background screen in the Miri universe, I think, when they're looking at their personnel files.
Aw.
Yeah, they needlessly hurt Hoshi in the Mirror Universe episode. They give her a horrible life.
What? She's in charge of everything.
Not the Mirror Universe counterpart, yes, but her primary universe counterpart
What do
has
you mean?
not
She has
great
a
life.
fulfilling career. She gets married and has a child, and then she gets murdered by a crazy governor. It's
It's
perfect.
all great.
So yes, Roger Corby is what this episode is about. Good old Roger, who I really thought was going to be. I thought he was going to show up, or at least we are going to
Yeah.
get like a video call. But nope, we just mentioned his name once.
Now that's interesting. They specified 5 years, which does make the timeline of Strange New Worlds. It means that they marry it within 2 years.
I like how that's very clearly just a piece of paper. Do you want to like ask Nurse Chapel about him? Because I mean, she
Yeah.
might know something.
Yeah, and it's revealed in this episode that she might know something.
So yeah, how many years was this after Strange New Worlds?
We're about 6 or 7 years out at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Christine is just about to meet Roger in Strange New Worlds. And then they have to get married, and then he has to disappear for
5 years.
I don't know.
5 years was the last message.
So Jesus, yeah, they got married real fast.
Good for them. I think.
My God, dramatic zoom in. Wow, 2 dramatic zoom ins. Or zooms in.
And he was already close.
Well, sounds like Roger's doing great. Everything's fine. Not everything will be perfect. She gets her husband back. They can go and do archaeology again. I don't know. I don't know what their deal is.
I think season 3 of Strange New World should just be nothing but Chapel and Corby.
Well, if each season represents a year like Old Trek, I don't know if that's true anymore. But if it is, that's about how long it takes them to get married, so that should work out. That's fine.
Perfect. Got it.
And then he'll go disappearing at the season finale.
It does mean that Chapel is going to be away for much of season 3, regardless.
Didn't she like not renew her contract? Is she going to show up at all?
You guys mean season 4, right? Because this was the season 3.
No, we're talking season 3 of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. This wasn't season 3?
No,
Yeah,
it's season
Season
2.
3 doesn't exist yet.
Oh, okay.
It does in our hearts.
2.
The earlier episode, The Man Trap, showed McCoy meeting his former fling. So now Chapel's meeting her former fling. There's a lot of former flings.
Actually, you note that, Ryan. That might mean that they have recorded most of the first episode then.
Maybe.
Because Chapel is definitively in the first episode of season 3. There's no way she can't be.
Sure she can. We just only see her in her spacesuit from behind.
Yeah.
It's fine.
She goes right back into the spacesuit that she just got out of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, they 100% murdered a bunch of people on that saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not search for survivors. It was kind of shitty.
Oh, it was weirdly presented in the survivor scene that only one person somehow survived. I get the idea of the Enterprise crew because they want to try and rescue all the people on the planet as quickly as possible, but only one person on the on the bridge of that. Oh, sorry, the source section of that
Yeah.
ship survived. It's a bit
Probably not.
weird, especially as one person who we know has to survive is the person did it. It is a bit odd.
Hmm.
I think I would like if they do a season 3 with just her and Roger. Explain the time travel shenanigans that occurred where she aged 30 years.
It's marriage at age, yes, you just go.
Completely changed her haircut, aged 30 years. So much happened. She had a long, fulfilling life in 1 year.
Everybody in Starfleet, this isn't just Nurse Chapel, everybody ages significantly because, I mean, have you seen Starfleet? It's so stressful.
Yeah.
Also,
Or-
is that a perfectly square cave entrance?
It's a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a window. You can see the reflections in it. It was just meant
It's
to be
a-
a window.
It's a reused set from the cage. The menagerie.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that. They've got tons of money to afford whole new sets.
It's just coincidental that it looks like the exact same, like, snow effect they used on, what's the episode called? Where everyone went crazy.
I know
The
mine has
naked
gone
time.
before.
Yeah, the
Naked
Naked Time.
Naked
Yeah.
time, yeah.
It's the
I mean-
exact same painted foam.
Nurse Chapel is played, of course, by Majel Barrett, who later became Majel Barrett Roddenberry, aka the voice of the computer.
And Loaxana.
Hmm.
And nothing sus happened with that whole relationship whatsoever.
But Kirk seems to know the names of all of the security people because he asked for 2 people and knew exactly who these 2 people were.
Well, now we care about them, so they'll be fine.
Do we?
They'll live. They'll have long, fulfilling careers in Starfleet. It's gonna be great.
Away Team Deaths
There's
is
lots of
currently
the
at
funny shaped
5.
rocks here already. Oh yeah, of course. This is that episode. We get those funny shaped rocks
The rocks that were designed by Gene Roddenberry.
that have very weird have very interesting objects on the ends of them, or designs on the end of them.
They're flared. Would you say they're
Yes.
flared at the end?
Yes.
Why are we so heavily zoomed in on everyone? Is this set just really small?
Probably.
Pay no attention to our $3 set in the background.
I think it's like for dramatic effect, we get to see their acting.
Acting.
Careful, don't look at the camera. Bill,
Yeah.
to the side.
Around the camera.
It's
not
supposed to be a huge drop that the camera is somehow floating on.
This reminds me of the Deep Space Nine cave set where there's that ledge that all the people stand dramatically in shadow.
Hmm.
Mhm. Love
Yeah,
that
it's
cave.
It's like with the Trill incubate also. You just walk down this little ramp.
Oh, he's got the tiny little handheld one on him.
He turned on the dramatic lighting.
Oh, that sounds like I'm waiting till it's confirmed, but that sounds like we got a death.
Yeah, that's a plummeting tear.
Bottomless.
It's
There's no such
bottomless.
thing as a bottomless pit.
Yeah, it probably wasn't
Hey, it
bloody
looks like,
Malefisto over there.
Loaxana's
Assistant.
the guy.
Yes, he
Oh.
does.
Okay, I'll go ahead and bump that up to 6. That's fine.
Oh, Lurch. Why are you
6
going around
deaths.
killing people?
He would never. He's a sweetheart.
I've been keeping track of the division colors of the dead away team members because I've heard that there's actually more yellow shirts than red shirts that die.
Yes.
It leans more heavily toward red shirts in later seasons.
Ah, interesting.
Season 1, it's pretty
Course.
evenly distributed.
They're all
It's-
red shirts, really. Because
It's
not
more
about the color of the shirt,
statistically the
but yes.
difference. It's more statistically the difference between them because fewer gold and blue shirts go down than red shirts. So at the number that they die,
Oh,
excluding the
interesting.
main
Well,
cast, they die more regularly.
But that's why they didn't mind crashing the saucer section. Just a bunch of red shirts in there. That's only people who work in that part of the ship.
I appreciate that Kirk is immediately suspicious that these people are evil, because look at him. Like, oh,
I mean,
well,
he was
he's dead, come along.
instantly. Literally just seeing the man, he was like, "Who is this guy? I'm trying to put my face at him."
Uhura
It's like
also
Captain
wears a
Kirk's
gold.
watched Star Trek before.
Uhura wears a gold uniform at some point today, so the colors are not even fixed out at this early in this show.
Ooh, look at that rock in the background, that's just a tarp. Oh, Matthews is covering it. Oh, there's the rock.
Space tarp.
Mr. Holm, why are you being so creepy? We know you're a good guy.
So it's like the Ira Bear episode, of early TNG, where you just meet this
that killed him somehow.
crazy scientist who's working on cybernetics, and they didn't have Noonien soon at this point, so.
Oh, they do actually reference that she was his student at this point in the episode.
Well, look at those canon connections.
How did they know about Strange New Worlds all the way back then?
It's just that I was thinking that maybe Strange New Worlds did that to get them to meet each other, but no, it is actually referenced here, and they become husband and wife from this. That's interesting.
Keep saying that, you might make me think these writers watch Star Trek. Couldn't be.
Hey, Dr. Corby's Strange New Worlds?
We
Kinda.
haven't
He's
seen
mentioned.
him yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I didn't realize that the romance between Spock and Nurse Chapel also had hints in the original series.
Although it kind
I
of
wouldn't say
messes
hints
up a
so
little
much
bit
as
awkwardly.
she explicitly states that she loves him.
Yeah.
And then he
And
has conflicted emotions too about it.
Yeah, but the vibe really isn't. We've been there, and I'm sorry, but that's behind us. The vibe is really more. I'm sorry, I'm not into you to begin with, because it's a little bit awkward.
He's not allowed to be into her.
Right, but that's still.
She's just
They're
not the
stretching
same without the
scene.
white suit.
They're also possessed by a mind virus, so there's no real substance to romance. You are correct.
Oh, you're the person I'm supposed to be in love with, right? My previous flesh body was into?
Checks out. Everyone goes on about how Dr. Sung was all amazing with robots, and yet, here you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of this in TOS. There's a lot of people making robots.
I think Star Trek's the reason why it takes forever to break up with my exes. Like, they're still hot for each other. It's been years and years and years.
And all his exes are robots, which just makes it even more difficult.
Well, they haven't seen each other in 5 years, but they were still an item back 5 years ago.
You know, it's like How to Train Your Dragon when they get reunited. They never broke up, they just were separated. Are we concerned about the fact he's not... Okay, we are concerned. Why?
Pilot phaser.
Roger, what's with the murder? I thought we were cool. 2 men are dead.
Probably dead.
They're only mostly dead because now we can just make them into robots.
So we can't go through their pockets yet?
Only after you make the robot.
Oh, okay. Then they'll be dead.
So, if she's an android, how is she being taken prisoner? Shouldn't she have the strength of 10 men?
True, the plot doesn't reveal that to us yet. Also, hints
So
of
that's a
that,
good effect.
hints of the episode where Data meets his mom and she's a robot.
Now we know he's an android.
What a twist.
Dun, dun.
That was on kill but not vaporize.
So this is why we had to
Sad.
actually watch the episode, because little girls are not made of carbon and hydrogen and oxygen. They're made of
Sugar.
silicon.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
Nope, mostly just silicon.
That would get all up in the circuits. It would ruin the whole thing. Can't have any of that in there.
You're gonna get shorts. Don't blow spices into your motherboard.
Just bad.
Is this the first time we're having someone fake Kirk's voice? Like, we have the computer do it at some point too.
Wow, Mr. Home, well done.
Who knew he was so talented? He's always so quiet.
We're like 5 days away from AI doing that for everyone.
No, you can do that right now.
Thanks.
Absolutely. I mean, Herr Deutschland's actually dead. I'm just the computer talking for him.
If you go to 11labs.io, you can absolutely just clone literally anyone's voice and make a perfect replica. This is weird.
Yeah.
Why not? Who can we harm? Can we harm Kirk? Well, clearly we can harm the red shirts.
I'm watching Foundation, which is on Apple TV, and the way we found out this woman is a robot is when her head is sliced, and inside it's all like computer wiring. But Isaac Asimov was the first to coin the term robot.
I think the captain's first duty upon returning to the ship is not to make a report. It'll be to level the place with torpedoes. Sounds so much more efficient. So they're not full data androids. They have much more simple programming.
That's what I was thinking. Like, if they would have known about Dr. Noonien soon, he would have been in this episode.
He would have been a teenager or something at this point, though, right?
Yeah, we could have invented a grandfather. We've done everything else.
Oh, okay, fine. So not him personally, but yeah. A Doctor soon.
I mean, he could be teenage Doctor.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they're all Brent Spiner.
But also something really cool. Actually, everyone hated the Picard thing with the golem. We actually get a golem in this episode.
Yes.
Christine, did you bring a gun?
I like her outfit. It's really creative.
Very weird.
It's very 60s.
Yes.
It's more like 2 sashes rather than an outfit.
Well, you see, Roger did just murder 2 men, so that'll definitely put a damper on the relationship.
Yes.
But together we can be masters over these slaves again, yes. Look at me, Christine. I'm the captain now. I don't know why they're playing the plot twist music. I feel like we all picked up on that.
Yeah.
Wow, even our finest scientists couldn't match skin pigmentation, except that one time Dr. Crusher did. And it was super easy.
Fairly an inconvenience.
It's a different channel.
I feel like Chapel is more concerned that he's cheating on her with a robot than the fact 2 people were murdered.
Well, she is in tune with something here. She called it a mechanical geisha. So she kind of understands that it's just like it's something pretty to look at.
This is how you get an AI uprising. Don't dismiss them like
As we
that.
see in the Orville.
Yeah, we're all laughing now. And then when we're getting slapped by robots, no more.
So Dr. Soong's working comparison. It's not that it's really worse. I mean it is, but it's sort of worse deliberately. Cuz I mean lore he made 2 perfect. And that's why he had to make a worse version with Data.
Mm.
Lore was perfectly human.
They had a prototype that was burned in a fire. And then Lore, he was kind of evil, so they had to make Data more childlike. Data was
So they had to
something
remove the ability of emotions and things to make him not get
there's clearly something innocent about
hate-loaded or
Data,
anything
though.
like that.
You know, Data wouldn't harm a fly.
Remember the Borg? Remember how the one time he started feeling emotions, he was like, "Yes, I would murder my best friend for more. Thank you."
True.
Yes.
That's true. And he was like choking the life out of Borg drones on the holodeck. So Data would hurt a fly or a drone. I like how this scene is done because basically if you just spin someone in a centrifuge with their golem, you make the duplicate.
Well, they're
It's just-
deliberately using the spinning of it to mask the changing of the thing behind it.
Well, it's just like purifying uranium to 99% enrichment.
This is actually really hard to watch.
Ooh.
The top view was fine, but that side view where it was going between the legs and the head, that was weird.
Also, I think that's the most nude shot we get of young William Shatner. So look while you can.
I don't want to look at it.
Do it.
He gets a little bloated.
Are we going to
later.
crossfade? I
He's
feel
still
like we're
kinda-
going to crossfade into Robot Shatner.
It just spins faster and faster, and then
Crossfade while spinning, though?
Dissolve. Oh, look at those.
Yes, a little less blue, a little more yellow. That's really how you make an android.
And hexagonal buttons too.
No, too much green. Turn down the green. Oh, now they're both Kirk.
But centrifuges were cutting edge science back then.
They literally just duplicated the shot.
We got
Yes, additional red to finish it
2
off.
Shatners achieved.
I think that light
feel-
went from the bottom to the top of it, which would have been quite difficult to do back then.
I'm worried that they just killed Kirk by
No,
centrifuging
they
him to
had a
death.
slide.
Yeah.
It reminds me, there
That's
is
a lot of G's.
a woman who was rescued by like medical helicopter, and her rope for the stretcher was caught on the wings of the helicopter, and she was spun thousands of times a second. She survived.
Hmm.
It's not getting fun getting spun in a centrifuge, though.
Usually not.
I mean, unless you want to be, all your solids float to the bottom and all your liquids go to the top.
Maybe this android Kirk is the one that's being kept on that space station. The one that's being guarded by Professor Moriarty.
Oh, that's how they used to program those room-sized computers. There'd be index cards with like holes punched in them, and the computer would read the hole punched memory cards.
Okay, so their androids can be perfectly human-like Data. Mentally. He just deliberately made Andrea stupid? What's the deal?
They made him very racist.
Spock is technically a half-breed.
Yeah, but that
You don't
doesn't mean
call
it's okay
someone
to
that.
call him that.
Still racist.
Yes. Mutt.
Might make it less okay because it would just
Mutt.
be confusing if you said something racist to someone that was plainly inaccurate.
Mutt is the word you're looking for.
I mean, also not okay to call someone a mutt.
Right. Let me mute myself.
Dogs, though. Mutts are the best kind. Way fewer health problems than purebred dogs.
True.
Or you could
Okay,
get a
that's evil,
combination
Kirk. Good.
of health problems.
Yes.
Well, how come he's got these other robots that are more simply programmed?
Look,
But he's got this technology that apparently does a better job of cloning the mind.
I suppose because it had to create a person from scratch, they didn't have a brain print to use.
Oh, so this is the first time he's used that technology then.
Other than
he
on
just could have
himself.
cloned himself onto her.
Yeah.
Or when are we gonna eat replicated cubes?
No, I think these are sliced bell peppers that they have butter knives for.
Well, Beyond Meat was becoming a thing for a while.
Wait, no, that's not. What is that?
I thought it was carrots, but yeah, I think we had this from the prior
Is that-
episodes. What comes out of the replicator?
I think some of that is watermelon. Maybe a little cantaloupe in there. Yeah, the orange bits I think are cantaloupe.
There's a lot of food coloring.
Maybe he's an android. Maybe it's not a perfect imprint. Oh, and of course she can tell he's the same person because she's a Betazoid. She can sense it. It all makes sense. Why was that line dubbed over in post?
And who said
line?
it? Because
When she
Please
said
go
go
ahead
ahead and
and
eat, that
eat.
sounded very different.
Huh.
Because they did the reaction shot of her looking away.
Maybe they changed the line. Maybe there was noise in the shot.
Oh, this is the split screen. That was so new back then. Wait, our Kirk is in the blue
Uniform
and
Kirk
green?
is fake Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Hey, George Samuel Kirk.
What do you mean
Only you
you
call him
call him
Sam.
Sam? Everyone calls him Sam.
He has a wife and 3 sons by this point.
I guess that could have changed over time, or maybe he thinks he's the only one who calls him Sam. But
I didn't know we had that in the TOS.
So has Mr. Holm been calling Spock to check in? Because he did say like regular contact.
oh yeah,
You see, that is one major problem with the android. They can be ordered and will do exactly as you order.
Only a machine. It's a little racist toward robots, but okay. Also, one of my neighbor's alarms is going off, so that's nice.
Oh, it is Android form.
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Wait, what? I don't remember Genghis Khan saying anything about androids.
or
I
programming.
think world
I think,
domination.
I think it was endless life they're talking about.
Did Genghis Khan promise endless life? Was that one of his things?
Also,
Because my understanding was mostly he just stabbed people.
Hitler wanted human cloning for sure. I don't think Genghis Khan did.
Cloning wasn't realistic at that point.
Yeah, but why is Kirk saying his name up there with Hitler? But also, apparently Genghis Khan had so many kids that, like, I think 1/4 of Asia is probably descended from him. So maybe that's the immortal cloning we're talking about.
Roger, you know this is big crime, right?
This is actively a crime now.
What, to clone someone and replace them with the
No,
robot?
in order to transport him and get him to do or give him the ability to do stuff without permission.
He's guilty of 2 murders, kidnapping, and the whole cloning thing I have to assume is a crime. I don't know what his plan is here.
He's also
he
like
wants
holding up
Kirk to
Enterprise.
transport him to another planet. That's clearly not going to work in his favor.
Aha!
You can't choke him, Kirk. He's not a real person. He's an android. He doesn't have
indeed.
airways.
He's acting really good though. Just like Juliana soon. Poor guy.
Oh, Mr. Holm will help, though. See, he's a sweetheart. He just wants to help.
Now, Rook in the Thrawn trilogy is a very similar name, so I wonder if Timothy Zahn was influenced by this a little bit.
All I know about Thrawn is his complete inability to accomplish anything in the Rebels show. Everyone talks him up like this brilliant military strategist. He doesn't do anything in the show. He never wins a single battle. He never captures anyone. He's just blue. And talks about art.
So we're getting to the point where we could put our consciousness in a robot. And
No, we're
let's
not.
say,
No, we're
we're not.
close.
okay, we're 150
The amount
years
of
from this point.
data it would take, we don't even have a complete scan of the brain yet, but the amount of data it would take to store that brain image would be a heck of a lot.
But my thing is, right, if you transfer your consciousness to a robot, it's simply a facsimile of you that rules.
Indeed.
It's not you. You're still
Yeah,
dead.
that's the other
Wait.
problem.
Prepare for rock.
Yep.
A very suspicious rock.
Yeah, a very particular looking. Oh, it's not that one. Oh,
No,
no,
that's
now
it.
it is.
That's an interesting shape there from the
Yeah.
art department.
What's the deal, Gene?
Stalactites and stalagmites. are the
They did
word.
definitely switch props between shots
Yes.
there. That's why they cut away. Because that one he's
To make
holding
sure
now
he's holding the
was
one
just
right.
it was sticking up out of the ground before.
I've got the upcoming event box floating on top of the timer, and it won't go away. Discord, why you do this to me?
I don't know.
I brought pizza.
I'm not
Who would like some
displaying the
pizza?
timer, so it's definitely on your end.
You get what I mean, quote unquote
Yes.
timer.
I know what you mean.
Oh, it's definitely client side, Ryan. I'm just saying it's a thing. It
God,
makes me
TV show, you can't
sad.
just play the exact same music cue that you ended with. You can't play it
They-
twice in a row.
They
Why
didn't have
not?
money.
Still
They
lazy.
didn't have a lot of money.
I guess we're just supposed to imagine like 3 to 4 minutes in between the two, so you can't tell.
Yeah.
There's also like hard commercial breaks, so you got to refresh the audience's mind.
Oh, so you
That's
wrote.
true. It could have been a commercial break.
It was a
Like,
commercial
Forget
break.
what happened 3 minutes ago.
No, we didn't because
So
we're.
that's interesting. Is that TV still uses those fade cuts even
Yeah.
in streaming services,
Yeah, true.
Well,
and sometimes they
they're
do
up
it
there.
mid-scene.
They're often
maybe they're
made for other
anticipating
markets, right?
syndication.
Yeah.
It's true.
Not really, because for syndication, you have to like be 45 minutes and leave 12 minutes for commercials or 17 minutes for commercials.
Oh, okay,
right,
that's
but, like,
racist. Captain
Strange
Kirk
New
was just
Worlds does air in
massively
Canada,
racist
for
towards.
instance. Like, it's the thing.
Okay.
Great, another reason to hate Canada. Just kidding.
They were on our side.
It's interesting that Kirk immediately is a racist here again when he's normally never like that with Spock.
Corby said it's a perfect clone with all his beliefs and attitudes intact, so I mean, I guess real Kirk's just better at hiding it.
Well, wasn't that the point of like him blurting out the racist thing during the cloning to try and influence the clone?
It is very possibly. Yes, actually, that does make sense.
And then we had a Tuvix Kirk last week. Split by transport accident.
The number of things they do with the transporter is just like, yeah, it's its own death machine, even if you don't count the very concept of it as a death machine.
It's a great outfit.
I am kind of with McCoy here about the transporters.
Remember that episode of Next Generation with the Bajoran that was part of Wesley's squad, and Picard had requested her.
The one he emotionally abused into a suicide mission.
It was Lower
Yes, I remember
Decks,
that.
right? Wasn't it called Lower Decks?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he emotionally manipulated into her a suicide mission. You remember how he said there's like a bunch of people waiting to get on board the Enterprise? And I'm thinking, why? Because the Enterprise is like, it's a menagerie of horrors. Like all this horrible stuff happens to them on a daily basis. Like, why would you want to be on the Enterprise?
Yeah, a
Because
weekly
it's
basis.
prestigious.
The other days of the week might be quite tame.
Probably quite boring, in fact.
Just go
Well,
hang
we
out
don't
in the
know. We don't
astrophysics
know.
lab deep within the ship.
I'll go hang out in Cetacean Ops. No
No,
Borg ever come to Cetacean Ops.
No, the dolphins are. You don't want to hang out with them.
The dolphins are creepy. That's a real life thing, though, Ryan, about dolphins.
War dolphins.
You know, from Red Alert 2. You train them out of the Navy Yard. They send out an echo.
The Russian Navy tried using dolphins for like attacking divers, but dolphins really can't handle all the emotional trauma of like blood everywhere. Unless like a great white shark trying to eat their babies or something.
Well, Captain Kirk's actually trying to treat them like people, or trying to get them to think of themselves as people.
Starting with the kiss. How come he didn't seduce this one?
That just sounds like that just sounds like humans. We are logical and emotional creatures to a very large extent, and we are frustrated by the
Are you
illogical nature
telling
of the
me that this sci-fi show is an analogy?
universe.
In my Star Trek,
It cannot be. They would never.
see this. This is what they're talking about. Star Trek's going woke right here.
And the reason he's not trying to seduce Ruck is because Ruck is out of his league. Wouldn't work. I mean, look at him.
The actual player name is Pilt. Well,
Is it the same actor that plays Lurch from Adam's Family?
Yeah,
Is it really?
same guy.
Does he end up? Does he end up on Next Generation?
No,
As,
he didn't live
He
very
is
long.
Mr. Home. He is Loaxana's.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
I don't know what his
Mhm.
deal is. What is he, a butler?
Assistant.
manservant.
Mesh. The mother mesh.
Okay, no, he's not Mr. Home. He's not Mr. Home at all.
Making some
Completely
fresh
different guy.
lemonade.
Because I
Lemonade and
thought the guy who
limeade.
played Lurch died pretty early.
Oh, am I thinking of is he Mayhardu?
From
I think he's Mayhardu.
Right.
on
Wasn't there
Vaporize.
an episode where Mayhadu and Mr. Holmes or whatever are in the
Yeah.
same episode?
He's not Mayhardu. Okay, it's not Mayhardu either.
Wow, that's certainly a type, isn't it?
It's like a dwarf actor.
Wow.
What? I'm saying extra tall, extra short. I'm not trying to slight anyone.
Yes,
Right.
kill him. Kill him now. With that thin plywood door.
And the
Uh-oh.
reveal that we all knew was coming.
Uh-oh.
Wow,
no,
what a
we didn't
twist.
know that. Actually, I didn't see that coming.
Who could possibly have seen it coming that this android planet, he's an android. Wow.
Yeah.
What happened to real Roger?
My pizza is not hot enough.
Okay, so he's dead. He's not an away team death. Just a regular death.
This
I
is the
want my
weird part. You expect
I
that
want my android body.
you expect her to be in love with you even though like your skin's peeling off and
Yeah,
there's
whatever. Through sickness and health. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
but you gotta say they did that's really great special effects.
Through normal operation and malfunction.
1969.
Yeah, he confirms that it was his message.
This is like the 7th episode. This might still be 1968
Sorry.
because I think it premiered September 8th, 1968.
Yeah. I forget because a lot was going on at that time.
Oh, are we going to... Oh. I thought we were going to paradox her to death.
Yeah. 1968 was like the peak of all the cafeteria revolutions of the 60s. Like in France, they took over the whole West Bank of the Seine. Maoist students, and Berkeley too.
You just admitted to being a computer. What do you
You
mean?
are the most computer.
That would make you a computer, Toby.
Ah, yes, because robots can only speak in robot words.
That's just science.
That's wow. 10 out of 10 acting.
People watch this.
Phaser gun. Oh my god, he just called it a gun. Nobody ever used the word gun in Star Trek.
Anyone who has to say I am Roger Corby is no Roger Corby. Call back to Joffrey.
Joffrey, of course, is the Grand Master of the Blades, living in Wayne Priory, outside of Coral.
What? The guy
He's-
did not give me enough Parmesan and crushed pepper. I specifically asked for 10. He gave me 4.
You don't need 10 things of Parmesan, dude.
I put 1 on each slice, and there's 10 slices.
That's too much.
No, it's not.
How much still?
There's not hardly anything in the packet. Yeah, Parmesan has monosodium glutamate in it, so it's full of flavor.
No.
It's gotta be so awkward from Christine's perspective. Oh, nice. Well
He's
done.
the one who shot them both. I forgot that.
All right, we wrapped it up. No casualties of importance. Away team solved. Solved the
Time
mystery
to
of Roger
leave.
Corby.
Are we
Destroyed an
keeping a
android
separate red shirt
No,
thing?
just
Oh.
away team bets in general.
Though,
Yeah,
of
away
course,
team
in
and red
reality, if you were
shirts.
to vaporize the body, Kirk and Chapel would be covered in gore, and there'd be a huge explosion. In fact, they'd probably be thrown across the firewall and be in hospital.
They'd be covered in mist,
Yeah.
residual remains.
Some nice intestine-shaped cabling.
Actually, yeah, in this case, they'd be covered with whatever they're made out of.
Kirk, are you gonna apologize for it?
Rude.
No,
See-
no apology.
No, he's just said next time he'll choose better language.
Yeah, he said next
not an
time I'm in
apology.
a similar situation, I will not use that term to tell you that I'm fake.
Next time he just won't let you hear it.
He's sensitive to the issue that you shouldn't refer to someone by their race.
Yeah, but you
Is he?
still
Because-
apologize.
I don't know if he's really sensitive to that issue because Captain Kirk, he doesn't use a lot of racist language himself, except in this episode, but he allows one of his subordinates, Dr. McCoy, to
Oh,
use
yeah.
it right in front of him all the time.
Yeah.
It's true.
This
Dr.
is also
McCoy's just a
whilst
walking
saying...
HR nightmare.
He also says to a crewman, leave your military in your quarters about Spock. But there's then,
But he
just
wasn't
allows
a main
McCoy to
cast
do it.
member.
yeah.
So the next episode is Miri. which the last episode's title mentioned little girls and there were none in the episode. This one does. Literal children. A lot of literal
Yes.
children. One of which who is just hitting puberty, and that means that Captain Kirk thinks it's okay to flirt with her because it's the 60s or something.
Well, he does say he doesn't want to get with her because she's 300 years old.
Anyway, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Ooh, the next 2 weeks are very strange new worlds.
Yes. Also,
Yeah,
the
Ryan, she's 300 years old. Come on.
She was secretly a dragon the whole time. She's a shapeshifter. Don't worry about it.
the most annoying children in television ever.
Yes.
Ever.
And lots of beeping at the start of the episode. Signaling that this would have been an annoying episode.
This is the most. I remember I was in a back of a car with my brother and sister. And,
wait, look at the screen. That is just Earth. Straight up.
That's India right there. So to annoy my dad and my aunt, I taught my brother and my sister to go, yeah, 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 yeah. We annoyed the hell out of them.
I can see that.
I would leave you on the side of the road.
That's Africa. I do remember noting that it is literally just they copied Earth for this one.
Oh, but this version of Earth, Florida's still there. It hasn't been wiped out by the Zindi.
Also, in Strange Worlds, we get a copy of Midwest Earth. You know, so they did that all the time.
But at least that wasn't
that
literally.
one. They
That was
deliberately built it to be that.
That was like the Scotland planet, where they just made it look like Scotland in their building. This is just the right. I don't know what the writers are doing.
No, don't you remember the Skagarans? They had the Midwest. You know, they had the Roman Empire. This is a thing in Star Trek.
The difference is those other cultures make their structures and wear clothes that look like they're from Earth. This is just straight up the planet is Earth.
Yeah.
Parallel developments.
Most of these episodes are just using the Paramount backlots to save money.
Oh, you're going to recognize the backlot we're beaming down to.
I mean, that's Michigan I'm looking at right there.
Baja California.
Distant reaches of your galaxy. You're 300 light years away. You're like next door, dude. Calm down.
Wow, this is the United States. This is the remastered one, right? This is like
It was Earth in the original,
went back,
though.
They went back and they're just like, let's just make it look like Earth again, I guess.
Put NASA footage.
Well,
they can't have changed it because they're actually going
to. So it's not okay. They're not.
It's in the dialogue.
Ignore all these similarities.
They do use this backlot a lot in TOS.
No, I hear y'all doing? Worrying about it. Don't worry about it.
You might also recognize this scene from the episode with the Purge. Or the Red Hour.
What about the Nazi planet? I bet you this is also the Nazi planet.
100%.
It's funny because they could dress it to look like the 50s. They can dress it to look like the Old West. They can dress it to look like Germany.
Approximately 1960. Wow. 1968 maybe, Spock?
Look, you can get that specific. I suppose you are comparing it to Earth history, so it makes some semblance of sense.
I mean,
but still.
Voyager went back in time to 1996. It's weird how Star Trek keeps going back in time to the exact air dates of those episodes.
Well, Picard season 2 went slightly in the future.
I mean, like by 2 years.
The Voyage home went back to 1986, the year the film premiered, or 85.
Oh, DS9.
How convenient that all important historical events happen on the air date.
It's very expensive for television to do a period piece. Like if you're filming something in the 50s, all the cars have to be from the 50s, and
that's the mistake they make. Actually, the mistake they make is when they film a period piece, they have all cars from a very narrow range. But when you go out on the road
Yes.
today, I see cars from 1990s, I see cars from 80s, I see cars from 2000s, I see cars from 2010s, and then I see a lot of more recent cars, obviously. But they always have like a very, very vertical slice of cars, and they don't show enough cars from like the 30s and the 20s when they're doing like a 1950s.
But either way, you have to spend more money because the costume and everything. So let's just make it
Well-
setting today.
He's just a zombie,
So,
right?
hang on. In this episode, Captain Kirk and friends are just mugging a man, stealing his tricycle.
Man did not deserve his tricycle.
Look, if you see a
He's
grown man
beating the
riding a
poor guy.
tricycle, you have the right to beat him up.
No.
No, that's sweet.
Okay.
He's a nice guy. He just...
That guy looks a lot like Hemmer, actually.
Yeah, he does. The
Does.
the Andorian.
Yeah. The not the
Excuse
Andorian, he's
me.
the
He's an
Sorry.
Enar.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Some kind of
Oh, they
siege.
killed him.
I mean, he had it coming.
Murdered him just so they could steal his tricycle.
He was a Huffy. It's really cool.
Fibber.
Yeah, one who tells fibs. Because remember, this is the child planet, and he
Yes.
was just one that got too old and was exiled to the surface and died.
Yeah. Don't try to reach puberty, otherwise.
It's
It's
dead?
dead.
Not he's dead? Wow.
By the way, we almost had
or
this fate
they're
on,
dead
on
at
our,
least.
on our planet ourselves. We had a virus that was striking down the olden age, and children were pretty much immune. Thank God we came out with the virus in time,
Also, I can clearly see that guy still moving.
with the vaccine in time.
Oh, wow, 2 red shirts went off on their own and they didn't die.
Wow.
Well
They
done.
grow up so
Momentous.
fast.
Kirk, that isn't doing you any favors. You're just holding onto a tree.
He likes the tree.
Oh no, you're gonna scare everyone off by a group of 6 people charging at them.
Kirk
Her
charges into
uniform's,
innocent
pretty-
bystanders home with a gun.
Police, FBI, open up.
How come everyone has a phaser except for, well, obviously the doctor, but the female officer?
Because
She's a
Gene
yeoman.
Roddenberry, that's why.
Yeah, and she's a yeoman, so in this series doesn't get a gun.
Women did not serve in the military in combat roles back then.
I feel like Gene Roddenberry would have foreseen that.
I don't think so.
There
This is
was
actually
1960s. There was a
acting in
large
this role.
movement to get women into it. Obviously, probably not at the time they had women service members, but there was a movement to get people in. I'm fairly certain.
No, I mean they were secretaries and
Yeah, what I mean is having them serve actively.
yeah.
Weird
But-
friends. I know
So-
my friends. You're not any of them.
So we laugh at how ridiculous and overacted this episode is, but the girl actually, Miri, she does really good acting, and
Yes.
you're very protective of her.
I prefer the term show is overacted.
The
You
red
know,
shirts are
like,
going off on their own
there's-
again.
There's moments of really great acting in TOS, and
Big Swedge, follow me.
a lot of it is William Shatner even.
William Shatner overacting.
No, I'm saying good acting is him too. Like
Spock, do you want to pull out the gun?
as the kids are about to
No.
go bonk bonk on his head, he's like pleading with them, like, "Don't kill me. Appeal to your reason. You know, we can make this virus go away." Savage children.
The children are just the worst. I agree.
Well, this is Lord of the Flies. So
As a
children
former child, I can confirm.
would you have been Piggy, Ryan?
That a Lord of the Flies reference?
Yes.
It's been too long. I don't remember what he did.
He put a pig's head on a steak and flies came out of it.
No, that's unsanitary.
This girl's an amazing actor.
Sure you can. You make them up as you go along, as every kid
This
does.
child's
Yep.
never played anarchy chess. Wow, she cracked the code. Well done.
What are the onlys?
Doesn't
She
matter.
should take a job in linguistics.
The before times.
Before time.
We should just be glad
Like
she's not saying
2019.
things like, yes, I closed my glimpses when the diggers came from the underside.
It's funny though, she's hiding in a closet when all the other kids are in the other place.
Powdering.
Silence.
Is this where people got the phrase in the before time, or was that used before now too?
I think it was probably used in the before times.
We use the phrase before times? Like you mean before the pandemic?
That's how I always refer to it.
Pre-lockdown. That's what I call it.
I prefer before the dark times. Before the empire.
Very short uniforms.
Don't do it, Kirk.
If this was their attempt at having a kids episode, I think it's not a good theme.
Probably not the attempt, their intent. No.
You know, with
You
all
want the
those
kids to
good
enjoy it. You don't make the
television
fact that it's a planet full of kids a horrible thing.
Yeah, they do summary executions of people.
Just like
Using the
Have you ever
hands
seen
for
Lord of the Flies?
thumb phaser.
Or
I'm gonna
Red
call
Lord of
that
the
a thumb
Flies?
phaser from now on.
Yeah, I
It's a
have.
Type 1 phaser.
This is why TNG had those weird garage door opener phasers
Yeah.
that they promptly switched out of because they look stupid.
Well, no, they kept them through the whole run.
Yeah, but only for like background extras. The real characters got real phasers.
So
Called
the
guards?
season 1 and 2 Dustbuster phasers got replaced by the newer phasers, but they still had the little tiny ones. They used it in I think Riker used one in the recreation of that what was it, like Soliton wave generator destruction when he was on trial for murder.
Wait, careful. There are children around.
And the music
Yes,
is going
stay
ham.
armed. There are children around. Defend yourselves.
Wide beam setting.
You can have gangs of children shake people down.
Are we
Okay.
even gonna shoot a single child this episode?
Ugh,
No.
such a waste.
We don't kill children.
I didn't say kill, I said shoot. They have a
Yeah,
stun
yeah.
setting.
No, we're not going to shoot a kid.
Use
The
gun
stun
on
setting is
child.
why I advocate so hard for people in Star Trek to shoot each other. It solves all their problems. You could get close to them if you shot them from a distance so they couldn't move.
What if you do like if you're like that whole scorpion thing? Get over here.
Get over here.
Ah, like a handheld grappler, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Lon is totally correct. Grapplers are the best.
Yes.
I love grapplers.
I love grapplers.
Well, easy. I don't like this music they're playing, though.
He's building trust.
Yeah. He's grooming her.
Like, even if this is just him trying to, like, manipulate
her
her,
off
it
the
still
planet.
feels really weird. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Icky. You're so
Stop
grown up
flirting
for
with
your
child.
age. You're so mature.
Mm,
Right? It makes you feel icky.
yeah.
Yes, but this or Code of Honor?
You know, Code of Honor.
Code of Honor was
I
at
don't
least
know.
funny. This is just creepy.
Look,
I think
Cat,
Code of
I
Honor
think
is
Code
worse
of
because
Honor
it's
gets
just
worse than it actually is.
it's just in my mind, Code of Honor is just consistently
Yeah.
bad, like the whole way through. There's no redeeming qualities
this
at all.
no. Okay, but
Is that
this
the one with the
That's the
no, I'm
racist one.
saying-
right? Yeah, the racist one in TNG. Yeah, they did the same thing in Stargate as well. Same first season.
Okay,
Same
it's
thing a couple of years later.
it's more camp than it is cringe. Both of these episodes, because even the kids going yeah, basically, it's all ridiculous. There's no need to make it creepy.
I mean, I would say Oblivion is camp. This doesn't feel camp to me.
This is just creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lucky that McCoy has an interest in ancient medicine.
Wait, yeah, have they even considered going back to the ship? What did they say they can't? What's the deal?
I'm assuming that they wouldn't want to.
Well, like, they have a medical lab instead of this beaker.
They're all
Interesting.
infected.
Yeah, there's an infection. So,
They're in the computer banks.
Yeah, they just need to remote in.
hey, look, there's a no smoking sign. That's so progressive.
Or it's just a lab with sensitive equipment.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's really much more about the,
Nowadays,
chemicals and
no
shit.
smoking goes without saying.
Yeah.
But back then,
and
we had to
health
remind
concern.
people not to
Ironically.
not to smoke.
Ironically, it's their cigarette break.
No, I saw a film in film class from the 60s, and after a guy gets a heart operation, he asks the surgeon, "Can he have a cigarette?" And the surgeon goes, "If you want."
Don't call him old, Miri. That's rude.
He's very young compared to you.
Ah, they were studying
So they were
immortality.
trying.
This is the biological equivalent of last episode. Last episode, they made robots to make themselves immortal, and the robots killed them. This time, they made a biological thing to make themselves immortal, and it killed them. It's the same episode.
And there's an episode in Strange New Worlds where they try and bring themselves back to normal, to non-engineered, and it kills them.
Well, in Planet of the Apes, we're trying to work on a brain drug, and then it becomes makes a monkey smart, and it kills us.
Why to play God?
It's almost like sci-fi. It was a metaphor for contemporary.
Did you just say
pop.
nucleic acids?
Yeah.
I do like hearing TV characters mispronounce things in a field they're supposedly the expert in.
Yeah.
This is so early. There's a lot of bad science.
She is 300 years old. That is the thing.
Yeah, I wasn't joking. She's a 3,000-year-old dragon. It's totally okay that Kirk's flirting with her. It's
He
Big yikes.
Not the entire body system, but a large portion of it. It mostly just changes your hormone balance levels.
puberty.
Yeah.
You start noticing hair in places that wasn't there before.
It's basically at some point from the age of 7 to 11, depending on who you are, your hormone levels your hormone production gets activated, and that causes the changes. It's literally just a change in hormones.
I was the only 6th grader with a beard.
Wow.
So, an interesting thing is that children who are abused reach puberty sooner.
I was the only tenor in 9th grade, 10th grade chorus class.
Isn't that like your voice is super high pitched? Then
Not just the higher range of the male register. Not super. That would be soprano.
yeah, I guess soprano would be the
Here we
highest.
go.
Then.
A
And
woman. Nope,
this
still a
says
kid.
that someone below puberty can't have a drush at all, which would be attitude at the time, and it's still kind of an attitude today. But you can definitely love before puberty, just not necessarily have the full understanding of what it is.
I'm surprised you said 7 to 11. I would have said 10 through 13. But
No,
just
the actual range from which puberty is supposed to start depends on whether you're male or female. Is between 7
What
and
age
11.
was your puberty, Soma?
I don't know, around 10, 9 or 10, I think.
It's
Might
tough
have
to put
been
a line on
9.
it because like it's a slow transition.
Yeah.
When does it actually onset is, like you said, different for every person actually. And I always thought girls underwent it sooner. But
I
It's
vote
one or
we
the other, don't
replace
remember. Yeah,
ourselves
girls
with
is younger,
robot
I think.
bodies, so we get rid of the ambiguity. Just make everybody an adult to start with. Make everybody a robot
How do you reproduce as a robot, though?
with a factory. What do you mean? It's super easy.
Duh.
But how
What?
do you decide what the randomization process is and creating an actual new person?
You ask ChatGPT.
Data can have kids.
Well, you see, inside of Data there is a little cooler that's filled with.
Okay.
How do they get food?
The
What?
kids, they just put
Yes.
on a credit card. Go
No,
to-
no, no, no. The kid doesn't need food. It's
No, he's talking about the episode, not Data. It's kids.
The
oh
kid, they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
order Space Dash.
pizza.
Sp-
Yeah, DoorDash, Planet Dash.
It's got to be so boring on this planet, though. What do you do for 300 years?
They had chance to
1900s
play whatever
desert?
games they like.
I mean, they
What
bonk
games?
people. They just kill people for fun. So that's all you can do. Just have a Maoist revolution.
Maybe they just play D&D all the time.
These are a
D&D.
lot of stories in 300 years.
You're trying to make a
Who
rule?
would do that?
Bonk. No homework. No chores. Ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Where's the ice cream from again?
Bonk.
Kirk, don't encourage her. Oh, yeah, they could have tricycle races. That's why that one was broken. They wore it out.
So Star Trek Insurrection ripped off this plot.
They could get
Little
so
bit.
much progress in WoW. What are those toys? Were those ever not creepy? What am I looking at?
Yeah, they were never not creepy.
What is that kid?
It's all children except that man who's clearly 35.
And that guy who is clearly like 14, 15. Maybe 13, actually.
I like how they're all wearing army jackets.
Army man, what rank is he?
Let's say,
Staff sergeant?
ooh, that's got to be senior major. Yeah, that could be an E9. Sergeant Major.
And they have army
Okay.
helmets too in the background. Doughboy helmets.
Oh, I hate these children once again.
We still have phasers. We could solve this
Please?
Well, that's the
problem.
ugly kid.
Don't
That's
be
a real
mean to the
ugly kid.
You're an ugly kid.
But
I
what do you
mean-
mean?
Oh, snap.
Those
I
kids
don't
hate you
think
too.
so.
Those kids hate
That
you.
one kid is real ugly. The one right there in the center of the window.
Look, not
The one
everybody
hanging?
was. You know, television just shows like very glamorous people. People had pretty much less strict standards of look specs then. You saw more of that in Hollywood.
Like, ugly is ugly, okay?
Don't shame the child.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless it's fun, then do it.
if he had some braces,
Sometimes kids deserve it, man.
if he had some braces, he'd look fine. But
Some kids are assholes.
And some adults make fun of
like that
children.
one. Oh,
these kids
my.
are all assholes, by the way. They're all gonna want to kill Kirk. And this is why we all watch this show.
This is why I never want children. Random children jumping on top of me. Ugh.
Did he just kill her?
This is why we watch TOS last. William
What do you
Shatner
mean
had
last? We still
Good.
got Discovery and Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks.
Picard.
And we have Star Trek Board FMV game and
no. Ryan's already sick of us.
Star Trek Next Generation VHS game.
Ryan's planning his exit. I don't understand why she's sharpening pencils here. And then she asks him, should I keep sharpening? And Kirk says yes.
Just keep the child busy.
Keep her
Keep her
busy.
away.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's still doing it. Still do it.
Do you think they actually made the kid keep sharpening, or did they just play a sound effect?
Just fully it in. Hopefully it's fully
They
in.
probably followed it in at this point.
I really think they should beam down some respirators or something, because these people are all getting mold exposure.
Why
Look at
don't
those
they
walls.
come down in EV suits? I mean, did we forget
Because they
sometime
didn't
between
know initially.
Enterprise and
We should just
Okay,
always
but why
wear
isn't
EV
it standard
suits.
practice?
yeah,
Yeah.
you should always wear EV suits.
Look, if it looks like Earth, you don't need an EV suit.
They all look like
everything
Earth.
looks right. A lot of them look like one park, not too far away. And Bones, you are old.
He's only 40.
How
years.
old?
Spock is the
I was
oldest.
You're so old, Bones. What are you, 45? Jeez.
What do you mean, of course, Mr. Spock? Don't let him go back to the ship.
Well, he's agreeing that's the goal.
But why would they want to go back? They have a new family here in this desert.
They gotta
Oh,
get
Christ. He would have been, DeForest Kelly was 46 when this episode aired.
Oh wow.
Oh, are you really?
1920, and this episode came out on October 27th, 1966. That's
Yeah,
a
I definitely was guessed
46-year-old
older.
man.
But
I'm
when did
s-
George Kelly die? He must have been old.
Eventually.
He
99.
died in 1997, 99, yeah.
Yeah.
So in his
No, he
70s
died.
somewhere.
Okay.
No, he died 2000 something.
No, he didn't.
I'm looking at his Wikipedia article right now.
James Doohan was next, I think.
Oh,
DeForest
reason I thought
Kelly,
James Doohan
sorry,
was the first to die
Jackson
of the-
DeForest Kelly
of the-
died
No,
at
it was,
79 years
DeForest
old.
Kelly.
Yes, but yeah, I was wrong.
So he died in 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duane went out in 2005.
I remember when DeForest Kelly died.
We have what, 3 TOS actors left? We have Sulu, we have Kirk, and we have
We
Chekhov.
still have
Koenig.
Walter.
Walter
Yeah.
Koenig. Although does he count? He was only in like season 2.
He counts.
And
Come on,
Sulu
everybody
was
loves
like
Chekhov.
Sulu
And
was
hey!
like B cast.
It's very, Khan knew him, so he's very important.
Even though he never met.
Well,
Yes.
the
Walter-
Wrath of Khan was a
Walter
Russian
knew-
movie.
They had lunch down in the galley. You just didn't see it.
He doesn't need to have met Khan. He knows his great-great-granddaughter, probably.
Of course, it was the Great Russia that saved us from the eugenics war. Not really.
It was kind of nice having Chekhov's kid be presented in
The
Picard.
president of
It was
the
random cool.
Federation.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a random nice thing.
They just left their communicators on the desk.
I don't know if I like
we don't need-
President Old Chekhov, because he's clearly just plagiarizing his speeches. He couldn't even be bothered to make up his own. Just copied from the whale.
Are you saying that one of the humpback whales is his speechwriter?
Yes, that's
No
exactly
wonder
what I'm saying.
his speech ended with.
Answer so many questions.
Yes, his speech was word for word the same speech the president of Earth gave in the whale movie when Earth was being destroyed by the probe.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a copy. It was a callback. It was plagiarism.
Terrible callback. I have to say, like, that's
I'm pretty sure.
not actually fun.
I'm pretty sure every presidential speech plagiarizes off some other presidential speech.
No more callbacks allowed. They're all plagiarism, according to Ryan.
The writers of the show are doing a callback. The president is doing a plagiarism.
Sounds illegal.
407 years ago.
Kirk, what the heck, dude? Yeah, because
Yes.
clearly Yeoman Rand is the one in the wrong here.
She getting jealous of the girl.
A little bit.
I
The
thought it was just
girls-
her
Mary's
losing
about to get
like the
jealous.
disease, but of course she's
I mean, she's right to be mad at him because he just knocked over all her stuff, broke glass right on her feet, and just walked away. What? Sorry, what, Gene?
What?
Gene, could we get that line again?
oh Gene.
Look at my
Look at them.
legs. What are they all purple? Look at them, Captain.
He has varicose veins. Oh no!
Well, that's your job, yeoman.
Oh, now she's jealous.
You guys remember near the end of Halo 3 when you kill the Prophet and the Gravemind turns on you? And Keith goes, "We trade one villain for another." That's how I feel when we swapped out Rick Berman for Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah. Of course, they were both on the show for the first 2 seasons of Next Gen, right? Like that
Yeah.
frightening thought.
You know, the show Mad Men kind of explains gender roles, how that was viewed in the 60s. Women were receptionists and secretaries. Men, you know, drank whiskey in their offices and smoked, and it was a male dominated world. So,
I mean,
It's a man's world.
they picked a really nice name for their character, though. A lot of character driven plots here. It's a really great show. Even with ugly children.
Oh, she's like plotting to eliminate her romantic rival now.
Yes, yes, she is. She wants to murder somebody.
There's a reason why we don't charge children as adults in violent crimes.
But what
No,
if they're
some kids,
secretly
some
300
kids are
years old and
actually
just look like
some
children?
kids are actually sociopaths.
Well, the next episode is about criminally insane people, so, or the one after.
And then he'll find me. Ha ha ha. Ha.
My adult boyfriend will try to.
In her defense, she doesn't have any other mature males around.
You
Not even
tell
this
him,
guy.
man.
Not even this guy.
You don't give him a concussion just for the sake of it.
So, these are very scary children because
Well, yeah, they're children.
they will murder you. They will murder you, and
Yeah, this is straight up. Wait, Peter Pan came first, right? Because this is a direct copy of Peter Pan's storyline.
it
Yeah.
is. But
mm,
Peter Pan, where they all call for your head to be crushed in. That's how you never grew up, by crushing adults' skulls in.
Why didn't Captain Hook just shoot Peter with a gun?
Can't you see what's going on?
Is this shirt ripped or is he just folded in the sides of it?
I don't think it's ripped. As much as they
His
love to.
later, his sleeves get totally ripped, and his hands are just coming out of his shirt.
No, it's a zipper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you look at the top left on there, he's got a zipper.
I like the Bunsen burner McCoy has going on.
That's my favorite band.
I don't think they're using that Bunsen burner right, though. It's not supposed to be all flickery and wavy like that.
No, it's supposed to be right over it.
The flame is
Why
not
did you
calibrated
so-
correctly.
We just skipped like 5 days and they didn't actually really explain when we did that. In fact, 7 days.
It
Pretty
doesn't
much.
matter. Nothing happened in those 5 days, don't worry about it.
But they didn't
Vaseline
indicate
can.
when it happened.
I
It
still
just
don't know what they mean by own
did.
days, by the way.
Like the rockin' oldies?
No, they. I can't wait for the Piece of the Action episode.
Wait, Zatoti's right here saying that as soon as you hit puberty, you stop liking playing games. What bollocks is that?
Clearly,
I
Kirk's
don't
never played
play the Sim
StarCraft.
games
I
anymore as
still
much.
play games. Come on, man.
But if all the games you know are the games that other people are playing, they're all 10, then
Oh yeah, well that would suck.
How often are y'all
Yeah,
playing
right
hide
now.
and seek?
yeah.
or tricycle races.
Wait, why is that lost out of focus? That shot? Did they like crop it to make it smaller to hide something in the remaster?
Moo.
Bonk bonk.
Ah, you see, that's a reference to how in the 60s they would just beat students who were misbehaving. Rand, gun. Where's your gun? Oh, right, they didn't give her a gun because she's a woman. God. Jean.
It's actually a really scary scene when all the kids are about to like beat up Kirk.
God, how many more minutes do we have to go before we get to the murder?
We have a lot of
He's
annoying.
gonna beat up a
children
kid. James T. Kirk's gonna beat up a child.
Good.
No, the
It's
kids are
okay,
gonna
they
grab
deserve
him.
it.
First, the kids have to
How
be so
many-
annoyed that the viewer wants him to.
How
These
many
are f-
5-year-olds can you beat up?
These
I
are
could beat up
feral
so many
children.
5-year-olds.
Feral children are
I
different
know.
than just like
You
civilized.
just
children.
like wreck them. They're
Feral-
small.
Feral children are like raccoons. They really don't count as beating up kids.
You just drop kick them. Did you ever play Dead Space, the original Dead Space?
Sure.
So an interesting thing in the original Dead Space, it's a mining ship, right? And obviously these miners get like horribly maimed in the process. So the ship has a cloning facility where they clone you new body parts, but apparently they just like clone entire humans and harvest the body parts. And when you
Very
go through it,
efficient.
there's actual babies in like tubes being cloned that have been turned into the Dead Space zombies, and they're clinging to the walls. And you grab them and you curb stomp them. It's pretty gnarly.
So what you're saying is we should curb stomp these children.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
mean,
it just
if
has
you
to
need
happen.
to, it's super effective.
They're gonna curb. There's more of them than there are of you. Pretty sure these kids could beat all of us up.
No,
Look.
dude, we take so many kids down.
They got clubs.
This is just children of the corn now.
Guns.
They got sticks.
Children of the Corn had psychic powers,
They got
didn't
masks
they?
and helmets.
I don't
Or I'm
remember
thinking
them having
Village of the
psychic
Damned.
powers.
That's Village of the Damned.
I just remember them stabbing a bunch of people.
See, there's that one you called ugly. He's about to rip your face off, Robo.
Oh, William Shatner's getting dramatic now.
There you go, Robo.
I mean,
He's got a wrench in his hand.
he certainly did a lot of acting there. I don't know.
Oh, that's the child in control. Yes, my minions. Shouldn't this guy have already gotten the disease? He's like 40.
We don't want the vaccine.
Anti-vaxxers. This is what you get.
Oh, they lost the Grups credit cards. They can't get any more Space Dash.
Just stun them all. That's easy.
Does he still have his gun? It's not on his hip. He should have brought it.
Threw him to the floor.
they put a feather in their hat, so they're savages.
Oh, he's just distracting them long enough. Yes, okay.
I mean, they almost killed him.
They barely did anything. They had a baseball bat that was actually just made of duct tape.
Scraped them.
Kirk could totally take those children if he actually wanted to.
Oh,
Especially Spock. Oh, if they got Spock in there, Spock would clean house.
Vulcan nerve pinch whirlwinds.
So the only way to test a vaccine is on yourself.
Which, this is not how vaccines work, and Star Trek at no point has ever understood that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It is
So
Vaccines
curative
are
instantly,
preventative, not curative.
and yet.
Well, yes and no, Ryan. There are some diseases that are treated by giving you the vaccine. Because your immune system may not be able to kill the living virus, but it can kill a weakened or dead virus.
Well, what it
And is
can
this a
do is if you've got,
virus?
what it can do is if
It's
you've
a
already got it in
virus.
your system, it is theoretically possible for you to induce your body to get it, to target it better if you put in a weaker version of it.
Yeah, sometimes they do give people who are already contracted a disease the vaccine for the same disease.
See, it was never creepy. He's more like the rescuer of the children in this episode.
No, it was always
He
creepy.
was definitely
It was
hitting on the
creepy.
girl.
Creepy
was-
It was
rescuer.
creepy when he was being creepy.
I guess I'm a minority here.
It's like a bunch of kids are stranded on a desert island, and a helicopter lands, and it's Michael Jackson. It's like you get on the helicopter, but you watch your back.
They don't fade that quickly either.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
They literally just
Almost as if
crossfade it out.
they're dissolving. You might say.
Yeah.
It's almost as though it's like just successive images being faded together, crossfaded, and
Leonard
Where
has
they
to
have
hold
different
him
levels of
very
makeup.
still so it can crossfade evenly.
Well, that's the point of
Yeah.
Leonard holding him, such that he is still.
We did not have special effects back then.
I think what they did was they only had one frame of him being still on the ground, and they just held it on that one frame.
Probably, yeah.
No, they applied the makeup, but they played the images in reverse order. So as they added more makeup,
That too,
They-
probably. Yeah.
they showed each picture with less makeup on. Well, at least we survived that.
Wait, are we? Okay, I was gonna say we're just leaving them alone. We did leave them with a medical team. Nope, we're good. Space Central will take care of them.
McCoy says send them to truant officers because they're cutting school.
sure.
Yeah.
See,
I mean, we're not quite sure
In-
how old you are,
well,
but
the issue is that she's not actually entered puberty yet, which is the primary issue. So regardless, she's still a kid. But
So how
Kirk was
about that,
directly attracted to her youthfulness.
Voyager telepath lady. I immediately forgot her name.
Cass?
Yes.
Cass, what about Cass? We had a whole episode about her going through puberty after she'd already been dating Neelix for a while. That was fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last episode is Dagger of the Mind, which I know nothing about.
It's about mental insanity and someone escaping a mental asylum.
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm
the
just
tartar
gonna
is
say right
switching.
now, I don't know anything about this, but I'm just gonna say it's probably gonna have some offensive stuff and misunderstand mental illness.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's a pretty good guess.
No.
Well, the concept here is criminally insane. So
I mean,
you know,
already
like
off to a bad start.
kleptomania, you can't stop yourself from stealing stuff.
I don't think that's what they usually mean by criminally insane.
I can't, Joker and Batman obviously
Or-
sociopath.
Is this gonna be one of those asylums that just like gives people lobotomies to try to cure them?
I mean, probably.
That was all the rage back then.
Listen,
What am I listening to?
when we used to
can't
put
just-
all the crazies inside of places, a lot less crazies are outside of places. You know.
Press play
Just
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
The question is, where does the idea of locking up the crazies come from? Because it's a relatively new idea in human history.
The problem is looking at them as the crazies instead of people who
Yes.
need help.
Yes.
Right.
Infrasensory drugs.
So, okay,
What? That's huge.
the TNG episode where the one planet is selling the other people the drugs that they're addicted to, but they call it medicine. They use that idea. Like, why do you need a whole crate full of drugs? It's for the whole planet.
Okay, what's the transition effect going to be? Are they just going to be gone?
Yeah, they don't. Oh no.
Crossfade?
Nope,
Nope,
gone.
they're just gone. Cut away.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, they're still
Wait,
there.
were they
They're
still
still
there? Wait.
Oh,
I think they
Yeah.
swapped out the empty
can't-
ones for the full ones.
Oh no, okay, that's not an effect problem. They're actually supposed to still be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
they didn't know that before they tried.
Yeah.
This is still.
Now do we get an effect? Now we get an effect.
I feel better now.
Is it going to be a person? I feel like it's going to be a person. Person in a box?
Could still be.
Wait, what does it say? Did that say
Do not
Stockholm,
open
Eurasia?
Classified material.
It does. Stockholm, Eurasia.
Oh wow, Europe and Asia are united.
Yeah, they.
Oh,
So-
all of Earth is united at this
I
point.
was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, so Eurasia's one
In
continent.
the United Earth Starfleet,
Well, I mean-
impossible.
I mean, Eurasia's
Called it.
Eurasia is one continent.
just not.
Once again, I know
Sweden.
nothing
Sweden is
about
not a
this
thing.
episode. I've just seen a
Not a
lot of Star Trek.
Important thing.
Oh, they just left it there, and he's
Yeah, don't
just
worry about it.
left it out of it.
Eurasia is the continent when you actually think about it.
It says classified material on it, and nobody wanted to secure it.
Well, why would they need to secure it? Everybody here has clearance. They're all officers in the Starfleet.
That doesn't mean you have clearance.
Ah, classic.
Yeah.
So we're not using the word crazy, right?
I mean,
Like crazy.
It depends
or
on
the
context.
Yes.
Crazies.
I prefer the term El Wackadoo.
So that whole planet is a mental asylum, and they just beam somebody up, and there's no
they
security.
didn't know they were beaming something up. It was beaming up a box.
But how did they not know?
No,
Surely
I'm
that
saying-
shows up on the sensor, on the
Yeah, that's true.
transporter, whatever it is, the transporter log.
They didn't. Don't call me Shirley.
It's probably a shielded box
Okay.
that was classified, so they didn't.
In the Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas, this guy gets out of the worst prison in revolutionary France by exchanging his body with a dead body, and they throw the dead body over the cliff into the ocean, and basically he's thrown over the cliff into the ocean. So one can break out of notorious institutions. This comes from Macbeth's title.
Yeah, and indeed there were a few people who escaped from Alcatraz.
Yes. Is this the dagger I see before me? The handle in my
Now,
hand.
Macbeth was crazy.
Yes.
Dude got told he was going to be king, and within like 2 minutes, he was already plotting a murder.
I see.
Because the Macbeth
The
story
answer.
isn't that long, so they have to go from noble hero to tyrant king real fast.
Yeah.
Plus, it's misogynist because his wife tells him to do it and is the one who does the deed.
Wait. Why is it misogynist?
It's the idea that women are the bane of existence. They're always.
Wait, are you telling me that strong, independent women can't be villains?
Abort.
No. Just the idea that women create these problems.
That guy
I
was
think
not
that
part of
type
the.
of
What I think is that guy was not
is
part of the away
very
team, so he doesn't count
regressive.
as a death.
Review.
I just love Macbeth.
What I think is that Uhura's going to develop back problems because of how hard she has to lean over her console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can't be good.
What kind of trouble? What? Well, you just said his section. You didn't say what was going on.
Well, we cut away, so we have to assume he was giving a more detailed report over the comm.
I like that this jumpsuit is polyester. Oh.
Looks comfortable.
So this guy's
Yeah, he
also
gave the
early 40s, so
description.
he's McCoy's age.
Yeah.
McCoy was 46. This guy's early.
Apparently, I am within 6 years of looking like I'm 70. This is good to know.
I'm telling you, don't join Starfleet. It'll gray you super fast.
No.
Fair
It
enough.
doesn't. It's not that he looks like he's 70. It's like people now that are 70 look like they're 40 in the 60s.
I thought McCoy would be just 40. I would not say he's 46.
McCoy, I would have guessed like 50s. Late 50s, maybe?
Based on
I'm
his
just looking at
behavior or
him.
based on the way he looks?
I'm looking
Based
at
on
his,
the way he looks.
I'm looking at his face in these early
I
episodes.
mean, partly it's just the style of clothing.
They brought a
Like-
security officer onto the ship, onto the bridge of the ship. They should probably have a security officer on the bridge of the ship at all times.
I think it's mainly
No.
moisturizer. I think McCoy needs to moisturize.
What are you, some kind of fascist?
It's the most important part of the ship, and there's nothing but the turbo lift in the way.
I just learned last month from a Amazon documentary about Star Trek that McCoy's hair was modeled after JFK to make him look more stylish.
Security guard
And the
wasn't even
security
guarding
officer
the door.
Yeah, he did nothing.
He had his back to the one entrance.
He has one job with one entrance.
That's what
he's
that's-
guarding. He's guarding the female crew members from Kirk. What do you think he's there for?
I mean, he's just
He's
an
not-
FJC cop. So
He's not keeping people out.
Inigo
He's
Montoya.
keeping Kirk in.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this line here. It's like, I want asylum.
But he's
It's like-
already in an asylum. You get
With
it?
No. But he's like, how do you request asylum with a gun in your hand?
I mean, like this.
Tantalus. No, it's Tartarus. Tantalus, I think I recognize that from elsewhere.
Tantalizing?
It's a Greek word.
Tantum 4? Tantum 5? Was it Tantum 4 or Tantum 5?
In what context? What do you mean?
Princess Leia's ship.
That was the
At the
Tantive
beginning.
4.
Tantive. Oh, okay. Whatever.
He put himself on there to escape.
Fast thinking, Kirk. He just told you he doesn't want to go.
That's
back.
a nice pan.
So does
That would be
anybody
different
here
model.
have Dark Tide or Vermintide?
No.
It's
So what do
not
we think?
schizophrenia.
What do we think is happening with this guy? Because I kind of don't believe that he actually has some sort of mental issue. I bet he's like being psychically manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
certainly.
I think he's gone stir crazy. So during the Cold War, the Russians had a cosmonaut go stir crazy, and it almost they had to be talked down from the ground. It was not a good thing. Cabin fever, because apparently
Well, that's a weird name.
he
Subtitles
was on
excellent
our
Yeah.
there. Castle.
Ah.
Why is everything named Ah in this universe? His name is Ah, the director of Ah.
No, it's oh, not
Or is it more of an ooh, as in surprise and alarm?
Ooh.
So the psych manipulation prevents him from using nouns?
I think a lot of mental illness was associated with like delirium or hysteria, manic issues.
This guy's uterus is definitely acting up.
uterus.
Hysteria.
What hysteria is. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
Hence hysterectomy.
The hymen.
Wasn't that just what they would say about women who are like sexually frustrated or something?
Yeah.
I think it's what they said about women in general who weren't in their place.
Submissive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Client.
That's some
They were
like reflecting off of
hysterical.
those
Something about
monitors.
being women was driving them mad.
Yeah, like lock them up.
Mm. Well, no, they had other treatments. I'll let you look that up though on your own.
Okay.
See, he's perfectly sane. Someone's messing with his head.
They kind of
So-
should have known this information before they got there.
Yeah, and if you can sign yourself into an institution, you should be able to sign yourself out.
I mean, that's not necessarily true.
Oh, he didn't kill the guy in the transporter room. Well, there's a little harm to him. You did punch him in the throat. That's not great.
Incorrigible. So that's an encouraging word.
Oh, they're not dangerous. They're just incorrigible. Those crazy kids.
They're eccentric.
Yeah. The difference between crazy and eccentric is if they're wealthy or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty
If they're
much.
wealthy, they're eccentric. If they're poor, they're crazy.
Pretty much.
Is that a hard rule though? Because I'm thinking, what about Musk? Is
I mean,
he still
often it is.
eccentric?
I mean,
he's eccentric for sure.
he's not crazy. He's just a douchebag.
He's not crazy because he put a rocket in space and then he also brought it back down, which
He didn't do it. He just financed it.
And he's an engineer.
He has
and
no idea. He has no idea what he's doing.
The first SpaceX rocket was launched by his own engineering. He couldn't afford it.
By his
Gene
own
here is
engineer.
imagining that
That doesn't
we
mean
were-
he did it. It just means he financed it.
He crunched the numbers for it.
I don't know about that.
So Gene Roddenberry here is imagining that one guy in this time period will do far more than anything that we could possibly do right now. That's explicitly what he's saying. He's saying that we will treat them as awful people that need correcting quotation marks
Yeah.
for a very long time, and this one guy changes all of that. He literally said we keep them in cages.
That's what you
That's
used to
good
do.
for people's mental health.
The jails
That
are
should
the
help.
largest. The jails hold more mentally insane people than the asylum facilities do in this country.
Well, there are no asylum facilities any longer. That's the problem.
Thanks,
Like
Reagan.
they need to have mental health facilities.
Well, they need mental health
That-
facilities,
They're
but not
mostly
asylum
people.
facilities.
State-run hospitals.
They shut them all down in like the 80s or something.
But the asylums were
Largely.
bad, but they do need something which
Yeah, they need something,
Actually-
not that, but they need something
The-
that's actually a mental health care facility.
The police
Yeah.
are the people we call to respond with mental health situations.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
they
also bad.
have a limited number of tools, and one of those tools is just a gun. So
Mhm.
you know,
It doesn't even have a stun setting.
Mm-mm.
no, they have a
They have a taser.
but the taser can also be lethal, but taser also sometimes just doesn't work on people.
Tasers cause heart attacks.
Sometimes it fails.
Sears.
Sometimes the probes don't connect.
Oh, rehab colonies. That's what we call them.
Yeah, there's the vacation planet. There's the mining planet. There's a rehab planet.
And there's Sunny
All-
Museum.
It's just like one biome, Titus. Yeah.
This show was designed. Gene Roddenberry would have loved Stellaris. Highly specialized worlds. They do one thing.
There's the wheat planet.
And what about George Lucas? Desert planet, forest planet, ocean planet,
Machine
Planet.
winter planets, city planet. What else was there?
Volcano planet.
Well,
The war planet,
let's see. There's Coruscant, Kashyyyk,
city
Tatooine,
planet,
Tatooine, Tatooine,
forest planet,
Tatooine, Tatooine, and
desert planet.
Tatooine.
Tatooine was filmed in Tunisia.
Yes, but did they ever
Endor,
go to Tatooine?
Forest Moon. What was the water planet from Clones?
Ah, Manon. No. No, Manon is from Knights of the Old Republic.
Back then, one of the most common treatments was electroshock therapy, and we do it now with small amounts of
yeah.
electricity. But back then, they used to really have a large amount of voltage.
Kirk is showing.
My God, this doctor is a woman. It cannot be. Do they ever use string
So-
instruments outside of, look, it's a woman?
Yeah. I probably not.
Hmm.
It's the dedicated instrument.
Sassy Spock.
Is she evil, though? She looks evil.
I'm
She's just a
getting
femme
that vibe from her, but
I mean, the way she was looking and smiling at them. Look at her looking off to the side. She's plotting. Look at
She's-
how hard she's scheming.
Well, I mean,
She's definitely dolled up.
dolled
She
up.
is made to look more pretty.
More evil.
Evil.
You could tell by the black pantyhose.
They all get the same black pantyhose, and I think those are. I guess they're pantyhose.
Yeomanry
There's no
wasn't-
seam on the back, so I guess they might not be stockings, and they go all the way up. Oh no! This turbulence in this Captain Kirk has a really good wingman at turbo lift control. He's yeah, make it a little bumpy so she'll fall into me and I'll catch her.
Maybe
Just
they
like
should
that-
try moving this rehab colony to New Zealand. Maybe that would have a better success rate. No, God, keep the weapon with you. Oh, thank God.
Medikit? Not a medkit?
Oh, no, we're back on the Enterprise again.
Oh, hey.
I think this is where Sulu was doing his botany.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine telling the GPS, "Hey, your coordinates are pretty good today, GPS." Landed me right on the nose to the parking lot.
So when I got my first smartphone and Google Maps was like brand new, I used it to find this. There was a new dim sum restaurant that had opened up, and so I was like, all right, Google Maps it, and I was following the directions, and it took me to an empty lot in the middle of an industrial area, and I'm like, this is like the murder lot. Is this where I go to get killed? Has Google Maps taken me to have my organs harvested?
This planet is for the criminally insane, so it's not just for
Yeah, this is
the
lobotomy.
crazies. It's for the crazies who kill people.
Still.
That's like a Venn diagram of a
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah. Crazies, murderers, and crazy murderers.
So there's crazies, and then crazies who kill are completely inside of the crazies.
Yeah. But yeah, this is lobotomy.
There's just crazies who have killed and crazies who haven't killed yet.
The Ryan's Edits YouTube channel officially does not endorse the views expressed
Yes.
by the participants in the voice chat.
I just keeping silent.
Yes. I'm
Also-
saying that this is lobotomy in the show, and it is bad.
Also,
Online interactions not rated by the E ESRB.
Also, a fact is that mentally ill people are far more likely to be subject to violence by
Yes.
us normal people than being perpetrators of violence. So,
Because us normal people are horrible. And we
Yes.
Yeah,
inflict
yeah.
violence on others.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why is this place a cave?
We really are the monsters.
Yes, we are.
Who makes a rehab facility out of a
Didn't
cave?
you ever see Rambo First Blood? That poor guy.
No, mental illness is a serious thing. I say you already have one foot in the grave if you're mentally ill because you can hardly take care of yourself.
I resemble this remark.
It's sad. Like the New
What
York
did he
State
just say?
In fighting over your weight.
the New York State Constitution guarantees everybody mental health, like a right to that. So that's where this idea comes from. Like I should be able to check myself in, get better, and leave.
There's too many consequences of checking yourself into a mental institution that you don't even realize.
A new device. Maybe these shrinks don't know what they're doing?
Or Dr. Gelder. So, why did they lobotomize Dr. Gelder? Was he like going to report them?
It was an
Possibly.
experimental.
Spotty's been very good here.
Oh, they finally got him strapped down because they didn't do that before.
Yeah, inject him in his armpit. That always works.
That was a long injection.
Yes.
That was a lot of fluid.
There's a lot of crazy to sedate there. Oh, okay. Just hypnotize the patient with brainwaves.
You're just beaming a laser into their brain?
Yes.
And pumping chemicals into their bloodstream.
Yeah, both of which are bad.
Yeah.
Literally
Wait,
10. It's
when
like
the
10
off
years
sign is
after.
lit, does that mean it's off or on?
Hmm. It's like 10 years after this that Alan Turing commits suicide because of being pumped full of chemicals because the government
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Yes, he was arrested for buggery.
Oh dear.
You
Let's
can't.
not. You don't need to
She's
go
not allowed to
into
say
detail.
that. She just
Alright,
said,
I'm
"Oh, I assure you, he's not created a chamber of horrors." You can't say that.
And it clearly is.
Nobody ever says this isn't a murder machine if it's not a murder machine.
Right.
Why is there a phaser sound?
Because they use
Are
that
we
sound
Chemical
for
phasering
neutralizer
people's
everything.
whirring.
brains?
It's a Doppler shift.
They lobotomized the doctors too?
A brain neutralizing beam. I don't think there's enough safeguards you can put on that. This reminds me of A Clockwork Orange by Stanley Kubrick, also a novel. But
Yeah, that is definitely what
Directed
they've
by
done to
Stanley
the
Kubrick.
character.
It is.
yes, Robo.
You know, I'm starting to get the sneaking suspicion that they've created a chamber of horrors down there.
They specifically said.
I
They
assure
wouldn't
you.
lie, would they? They're Starfleet officers, maybe.
Their first duty is to the truth.
Oh, you misunderstood. First duty, as in like the first thing they shit on is the truth.
No, it was misunderstood. It's the tooth. They're actually all dentists.
Dentists are creepy. Do you know any dentists like personally? Oh,
I
damn.
do.
They're kind of
Can't
creepy,
say that
right?
I do.
Like they're kind of creepy.
They work with enamel all day. I mean,
Can't
not
be
very-
trusted. They work with
not-
enamel.
they're not very personable. They understand enamel,
No,
not people.
they say like dentists has a really high rate of suicide. It's because people hate going to the dentist, and they're always like you know they don't like dentists. They don't like going to the dentist. They don't like it.
Okay, so what we need to do is give dentists like those old medieval medical masks so people don't associate them with dentists going out in public. Dentists can walk around without people recognizing them and hating them.
Oh, like executioners, they wear the mask so
Yeah,
God
you
doesn't
have a
see who
degree
they
of
are.
anonymity.
Kirk is way too trusted in this episode.
Hey, he's not so crazy after all. Maybe he's actually telling us the truth.
He is a whistleblower, is what is going on. He
Yes.
was going to report them for their chamber of horrors, so they did it to him too.
And
Yes, it will be increasingly painful as you fight to remember. Yes, I remember
Yes.
the previous scene.
the Romulans,
Vito?
Romulans must have picked up this weapon later because they use it on Geordi, right? Or Laura uses it on Geordi. Everyone uses it on Geordi. The Klingons use it.
Yeah, it happens a few times.
Yeah.
And it's always through
Jordy
his
gets-
visor.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the one crew member who has like a digital link directly into his cerebral cortex, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Data and Jordy, just anybody with machine technology anywhere is a danger, except Captain Picard's fake heart doesn't count. Why didn't
Oh,
we
fuck, on
just
my mails
EMP
again.
Picard to kill him?
Wait, what's part of the Vulcan people? The Ponfar?
I don't know, I wasn't listening.
Sorry.
A complete disregard for mental health? Because the
Yes.
Vulcan society is all about emotionally abusing children until they suppress everything.
Repression is the psychological term. Repressed, suppressed.
Help, I'm being repressed.
How much time is left on this episode?
20 minutes.
I think like one of the psychological terms, especially in the series, like repressed homosexual, somebody who's just not out to themselves. It creates all kinds of problems from bottling up your sexual feelings.
So we watched last week
You have this.
Matoy do this, I think. But sorry, Spock do this, but not Matoy didn't see it, I don't think. I think it's a completely different hand position to later on.
Yes, brain repair. Thank you, psychic Vulcans.
Why does it have to be a strange euphoria? Why can't it be a regular euphoria?
Oh, there's the hand positioning.
He does this with the Horda later too, which is even better. You get amazing Nimoy acting.
Over here.
No, with the Horda. Pain!
Spock does sort of remind me of Tuvok in that respect, in that it seems like mind meld is always his first resort.
When in doubt.
I mean, it's just like easy mode, right?
With V'ger too.
Yeah, and then Voyager's
How do
the
you mind
doctor,
meld
he
with a
just freaks
computer?
out 'cause he's like, Vulcans are always mind melding with people, and then when it inevitably, what did I just say? When it inevitably goes wrong, first thing they cry is doctor.
This is also star power. You cannot question as someone who is so famous for doing
So,
quotation marks good stuff.
Yeah.
He cannot possibly do anything wrong.
Right.
why are you so anti-telepath, Ryan?
Look, telepaths can't be trusted.
No, and here too, this lady's part of the institution. She's like, don't question Dr. Adams, the brain butcher. This is a great mind meld.
I'm looking at the lighting on Spock and how it's just the tip of his nose that has a light on it. Where's that coming from?
The left side, because it's
The
brightly
shadow
lit up.
is his haircut, his bowl haircut. It's creating that sharp shadow.
It's from the top left, because it's brightly lighting up the patient's face.
There's also an episode of Stargate where they have a mind control device like this, where it implants false memories such that a member of SG-1 committed a murder, even though he didn't.
Boy, that happened in Voyager. That happened in.
TNG.
Did it happen in TNG?
Deep
False
Space
murder
Nine had an
memories in
episode
TNG.
where O'Brien's memories were
O'Brien?
replaced.
I think
They
Riker
give him
When-
memories of prison.
When Geordi shoots O'Brien in the holodeck, he has fake murder memories.
Yes.
He wakes up in the middle of the night in a panic thinking he killed O'Brien.
Those are real murder memories. He just got them mixed up.
Spock says we when he mind melds over here. Like we're one consciousness, you and me.
later becomes my mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts. They are one entity.
So he had his brain scrambled. It's just an empty
Okay,
shell.
so yeah, it just the off light is now lit. Does that mean it's off or it doesn't mean it's on?
Yeah.
I think, like, yeah, the default mode of the light is to be on. So when it's lit up, it's actually off. Normally there's an on button.
Kirk is trying to put himself in the machine.
Kirk, what you doing? What you doing,
yeah.
buddy?
This has to be the most dumb decision he makes in his entire career.
Do you want at least like a security officer here? Do you want Spock? Do you want?
Put a dog in it. See, look, the off light is off, which means it's on.
That's such backwards design.
No, like
What's
I said,
the
it's
point?
because it's
Why-
some sicko psychiatrists running this place.
This is how they scramble people's brains. They make nonsensical labeling decisions.
No, they just leave the light on default.
Did you see Endor?
Yeah.
Wait, no. Was it Mandalorian where they had the guy that was
No, it's Andor.
reformed? No. Mandalorian. It's the guy, the cloning guy that
yeah,
they
it is.
reformed,
It is Mando.
and
the
then
scientist.
they put him on the machine, and then she cranks it up.
Yeah.
The mind flayer.
Yeah. So hypnotism, mesmerism. There was a guy named Mesmer. He was like a French doctor, I want to say loosely, but he proposed all this mesmerism thing. Suggest thoughts to people.
Man,
Yeah, that's the kind of fantasy every woman wants to pipe into a guy's mind. Okay.
She is literally making it seem as if he loves her to his own mind.
it is sus. Not sus in the way I thought she would be sus, but this is
You could have been strolling down
She
the
still
park.
has time to actually crank up the lobotomy machine. She could do a murder.
But she loves him,
only
that's
as a treat.
obvious.
How did this show ever get off the ground?
It was the 60s.
It's the 60s,
Very
yeah.
difficultly. Very difficult. Well, thanks to Lucille Ball, actually. A woman.
Bear in mind that this was toned down as well from what they wanted for the 60s.
True. No, but it's like you have one suggestion to give your boss, and it's like, yeah, carry me in your quarters and in your arms. So,
Kirk, can you maybe just like get up?
Yeah, maybe this is why you should have had a security officer down there too.
You should just have.
I remember my first boyfriend in college told me that Star Trek was a camp show that everybody laughed at, and then it became like a pop culture thing because it was so camp. But it's not actually a show that was like a real show that people actually liked.
And was it that camp at the time? I mean, it seems so now, but
Fair enough. I like the original
a
series.
lot of things looked sillier.
In
back
fact,
then,
I
but-
even like watching it in the original edition without the CGI remake.
This is the CGI remake.
It's subtle. It's not. They didn't go as far as
They
special
upscaled
edition
it
sorts
too,
of
right?
things.
They
They upscaled it, yeah, and they made it look watchable Like they didn't actually make it look like the special effects are modern, which I think is a pretty reasonable compromise.
Yeah,
This
it was
scene actually hang on. This scene actually just surprised me. I thought Captain Kirk was going to resist and shoot the machine. But no, he failed. Unless he has another phaser. Or is he going to call Spock? Oh, he's going to call Spock because the machine's trying to make him think he loves Helen, but he knows his true love is Spock.
Oh yeah. They lots of fan fiction put them together.
Hey, there's an idea. Get out of the chair. Why are you looking at it?
No, because I don't think the effect happens in looking at it anymore. It's like the
Probably.
frequency.
So, I would be trying not to look at it if I managed to get up.
So is he a vegetable now? Because he should be a vegetable.
Not necessarily. That the point of the machine isn't to make you a vegetable.
I mean, it's a neural neutralizer, right?
They try to be more targeted than that, though.
That's true, though. He does love this lady now. No, he's not going to remember. All he knows is the last thing Dr. Adams told him.
No, Kirk, don't look at her like that. What are you doing?
So, have you ever looked up like the actors or actresses from the original series to see what they look like now? Like the little roles, not the big actors.
No.
Did they grow old?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 60 years older now.
Yes.
What do you mean about 60?
57
Not
years
actually
old.
60 because this was,
They're-
69 and now it's only 23?
This is almost 60 years ago. So
Yeah,
they're
that's-
going to be like 80 something.
60
Yeah, about
years
60 years
older.
Oh.
Not old, older. Useless. What happened to those engineering extension courses, Helen? All right, we successfully got rid of Helen while they watched, apparently.
Yeah, the door was open.
I didn't hear an opening sound effect, so I have to assume, yeah, they were just hanging out.
Hey, look, it's Tony Stark's spark reactor. Arc reactor?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The power of Grayskull.
I like their logo. Like a little dove, a little sun, gentle hand. Oh, and that sun is a metaphor for that neural device that they're using.
How did these people get up there in Starfleet?
I think, like, at this point of the show, Starfleet is just like we're checking up on you, but they have no jurisdiction over other planets. It's still a lot of private industry. Like in the Man Trap, he says that Starfleet captains have the right to inspect your mining operation. Otherwise, you won't get any more help from the Federation or United Earth.
Was she crawling around in a Jeffries tube?
No,
I'm
just
surprised we
that.
didn't
Thinking,
get
like,
a
that can't be an air
gratuitous.
duct. There's too many holes in the wall. What's the point of the tube?
So we get a shot of her crawling on her hands and knees.
She escaped.
Like Dr. Gelder when he was begging for his life. You
We
know,
have
a good breakthrough
planetary
of force fields.
phasers.
Phasers.
But this is the first time we see a planetary space shield, force field. I don't even think the ship has shields, right?
The ship has deflector shields.
It definitely does.
Deflector screens. Are those the same thing?
No, there's no shields yet.
Yeah.
No?
They have shields.
Yeah, they mention them repeatedly.
They have
Okay.
shields and deflectors
Yeah.
in the original series. Because they didn't
See-
want to have to damage the model.
No, I mean at this
the
point of the
ship.
show, though, like, do they have shields? I don't think they've mentioned them. The ship shields. Because again, they're saying planetary force field, so I'm saying they don't even have the concept of shields yet.
Sure they do.
They probably would have mentioned them in Where No Man Goes before.
I
When
think
they
that's
went
a
through the
deflector
barrier?
shield. That's a deflector.
All right,
they're
let me
bringing.
bring up the scripts.
Thank
Which
you.
is the shield. You have deflectors and you have shields.
Mm-hmm.
No, Ryan.
Deflectors is a beam that's projected in front of the ship while it's traveling to push all the little particles out of the way. And shield is a protective bubble against weapons.
What does have his phaser?
And also in especially in TOS, they're still coming up with the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the cage, they're
okay.
doing space warp speed. They're not going light speed.
No, they're
The
doing
time
first
warp.
mention of the word shields is in the episode Return of the Archons, which we haven't seen yet.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Okay.
I'm saying we have a planetary force field here, and then we also in the cage or menagerie episode, they're behind the force field of what we would call the break.
They
So
say
they
a lot
have-
of deflectors full intensity, deflectors aren't stopping it, deflector screen just popped on.
Screens.
And then later on they will use deflectors, shields, or deflector shields.
Spock
Yeah, that's
doesn't
all I'm
know
trying
that
to say.
he's
Is it's just
got rid of
it's
these
all
guys'
interchangeable.
minds.
It's all evolving. Like
up
the warp core is called the warp engine, because, and then main engineering is called the engine room, which is totally different than what we think of it as.
Though both of those terms are used at least in Enterprise.
Okay. Well, we never use them in TNG, is what I'm trying to say.
It's his little hidey hole for ladies. They always keep a spare lady in the wall.
And she's saying this isn't right. And
It's for emergencies. It's like in case of emergency, break glass. In case of no Orion slave girls, break glass.
Nope.
yes, the off light is on. I'm pretty sure the Romulans are going to get a hold of this technology.
Did he do it to himself?
Hoisted by his own petard, you could say.
There is a kill frequency.
Everything Star Wars did, Star Trek did first. Look at that.
It
Except
even
movies.
has space wizards.
Star Wars did movies first. The only reason they did a Star Trek movie was because they had a Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Remember that action-packed adventure movie? What if we do a slow 3-hour philosophical meander?
Written by Isaac Asimov.
It's really more like 2001 than like Star Wars.
It was based off of 2001. They even got the guy who did never mind. But Isaac Asimov was a consultant for motion picture.
Oh, did they fix Van Gelder's brain? Is he good now?
Or Kirk's brain, for that matter.
Well, I
Fox
don't think
brain.
anything really changed with Kirk.
Yeah,
As
Kirk.
long as he doesn't have to interact with his new fake girlfriend, I think he's probably fine.
Right. Probably.
She has to be
True.
transferred off the ship. Other than that, she's okay. Everything's good. It's really sad. I saw a documentary about lobotomies, and this woman said like they just returned my mother in this like non-responsive state. She couldn't appreciate life anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, the moral of today's stories is that the 60s were horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
so now I finally know what that episode is about. Dagger of the Mind.
Criminally insane.
I do know next week's episode's what they're all about. It's The Conscience of the King, which, okay, that one I don't know. Balance of Terror, though. That's that spin-off of that Strange New Worlds episode with Captain Pike and the Farragut's.
And the neutral zone.
And then Shore Leave, which is an episode that they literally were writing as they went along.
Yeah,
They made it up
actually.
as they went along. And it's...
That just
Yeah.
skipped 3 episodes.
Did it? Where?
You just skipped
Oh.
10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
I was scrolled down a little bit. Hang
Okay.
on. Next week's episodes are actually the Corbomite maneuver with God, what's his name?
Richard Daystrom.
No.
The little guy,
Yeah, the baby.
the funny-looking guy.
Ron Howard's brother.
Don't be mean
The-
to him. He's nice. He's a cool
The
guy.
guy who was on Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, the guy
he
who
was
shows up all
also
over the
in
place.
Deep
His name I
Space
can't remember.
Nine.
Clint Howard. Yes, thank you. Clint Howard.
Clint Howard. He did didn't he not play Ferengi as well at some point?
He did, yeah. In Enterprise.
And then, what was he in Strange New Worlds? Just like...
He was an
episode
Orion that was
himself.
giving drugs.
That's right. Like, just in this season?
It was in
Yeah.
season 1.
Oh, no, I'm saying he was in, like, in episode 8, maybe? He was just in the show.
So what's the phrase we're
Clint
using
Howard,
for
yeah.
our outro on original series?
I don't know. I've just been telling people to go away.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was in episode 8. Commander
Oh, wow. He was
Buck
under the cloak
Martinez.
of war. Wow. I did not
Oh, yeah,
notice
he
it.
was the guy Christine met when she first beamed down.
Oh, maybe I did notice and I just forgot. Okay. So, there's the Clint Howard episode where he uses a puppet to make himself look intimidating. And then the Menagerie parts 1 and 2, which is just reusing footage that they already had.
Yes. But it is
All about
it's
Captain
Strange New
Pike.
Worlds references. Well, it doesn't. Strange New Worlds have references to it technically, and it connects with Strange New
Not
Worlds.
just
anyway.
references, they
mean,
straight up
they
pull
paid for the
scenes from that
footage,
and
so-
say previously on Star Trek.
On Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Strange New Worlds to an
It
extent.
was cute.
Yeah, it's it should be good. And then we'll get the Conscience of the King and Balance of Terror and Shore Leave.
Yes.
And then the week after that, we're going to get nothing because I'm going to be playing Starfield and screw you guys.
Yeah, I've got to power through Baldur's Gate pretty quick.
Yep, you got time.
But we
Alright,
get to
well,
talk
got a
about
few weeks.
Balance. Strange New Worlds Season 1, Episode 10 with Balance of Terror.
Nice seeing you guys.
You mean Spock's dad, the traitor?
See you guys later.
So the last thing is, what are the chances of cats?
Cats. I don't even have my camera on.
Oh, okay, no cats.
Thank you, Ryan.
Everybody, please Google a picture of a cat. Stream's over. Everybody can
Yeah.
leave now.
Okay.